What an exciting couple of weeks. Now, the most significant was Comet by Perplexity and Agent Mode by OpenAI. And to a certain extent, we can say that both are comparable. And this is what we're going to do today. I want to compare both. Maybe it's not a perfect comparison, but in the future, if things change, we'll do another one. Now, just a disclaimer, we're not there yet when it comes to these agents. Lots of rumors happened when all of this started, especially on agent mode. People saying that this is the start of losing our jobs. We are not there yet. And I made a video. If you're interested, write me a comment in the comment section. I can dig deep into this aspect of artificial intelligence and if it really will affect your career and in which areas exactly. Now, today is all about comparison and these things take time. So I want to do only 2 comparisons. And the thought I had is I want to actually at some point in the future give such agents something I don't like to do myself, something that requires me to go and browse the internet, spend time there to get quality kind of conclusion or thought in my head, and something I don't necessarily prefer to do. One of it is actually going into X or YouTube, seeing what people are talking about when it comes to artificial intelligence, maybe deciding on my next episode. So this is part I don't like. And the other one is I'm still having a day job and I from time to time look at the openings out there. I live in Dubai, so what openings out there are within my area of expertise, within my seniority, within the type of corporates I would like to join. And also this is something, honestly, I do it from time to time out of curiosity. I don't like to do it necessarily on LinkedIn. Maybe agents can do that work for me. I don't think we're at a stage where the agent can actually go into an Oracle-based HR system and apply for a job on your behalf. And that's a dangerous thing I wouldn't do myself. What I want to do is actually get it to search LinkedIn, for example, and look into my profile on LinkedIn and decide which jobs might be good for me to apply or consider and which are not, and then put all of that information in a Google Sheet for me. Now, by the way, both of those tasks, if I wanted to automate them, it would take lots of APIs, lots of setup on something like Zapier or N8N, if not code, to get it done through an automation. And with agent mode, theoretically, I can just do that by a single sentence or a single prompt without building systems. And I can repeat that. Like my only automation in the future could be just run this prompt to agent mode or to Perplexity Comet, for example. So this is significant. The technology is not there yet, but it is definitely a significant starting point and super interesting and something I'm gonna watch really, really closely. So with this and without any further ado, let's get started.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. The mic.
We'll hit Start Comet. And it started. And it looks like Chrome or any other different browser. Now, the only difference here is when I write something, it will be taken as a prompt. And it will run agents, it will run AI search for me, whatever I'm looking for. So let's go now to OpenAI and I'll show you what we get in terms of the agent mode. And then we're going to start the 2 comparisons between Comet and agent mode by OpenAI. Okay, here I'm on Chrome and this is your default interface with ChatGPT. The only difference, if you click at tools now, if you have a Plus or Pro account, you can find now agent mode. Now you can see it is telling me I have 40 left until 25th of August. So every month you get 40 uses for agent mode. And I didn't test it before, so it will be my first time to test it with you. Now I'm gonna put the prompt for each of the 2 tests, run it on agent mode, and then run it on Comet. Let's go into the interesting stuff and see what we get. Okay, to make it a little bit fairer, I'm gonna run actually the prompt for the agent mode on the ChatGPT application on Mac. I don't think there's a difference, but just in case. And the first prompt is very simple. This is nothing that will get it to create sheets for me. We're gonna do it for the next one. This is something that you can't do as accurately or comprehensively with normal deep research. So this is what I'm asking the agent mode to do for me. So this is the prompt. I need you to research for me X and YouTube based on channels I follow for most trending topics within the AI niche, try to investigate what those are about and what people are talking about on such platforms, and give me 3 potential topics to cover. So I have the same exact prompt here and on Comet. I will run it on both, and I'll keep toggling between both platforms so you can get a glimpse of how things are happening on those systems, how the mouse is moving and how typing is happening. We just want to see how advanced those are and how helpful in realistic requests like this they could be. So let's start with Comet, and then we'll move to Agent and run both tasks together. So what it will do, it will start doing some research and it will look into sources and do some steps. So it's doing that, and actually it answered quickly, and that's not what I'm looking for. If you see the steps, it actually did a normal step as if you're using Perplexity. Let me send the assistant a follow-up asking it, I want specific research based on accessing my sites based on my request. So I'm telling it, I need you to do that explicitly on my X and YouTube accounts for the recommendations and not a normal search. So let's hit go. It should now actually start doing it differently. It's not a normal search. It should actually go. So you can see now it opened my YouTube. So I actually stay here before I move to agent mode. It's interesting. So it opened both pages. I'm already logged in. If we go back here, you can see here it's already looking at my YouTube page. I can open it. It's already open. So maybe it did the research because I have stuff that has to do with politics, AI, and other things. So it might be now just trying to navigate AI related topics on my YouTube. I get a pop-up now. Okay, so I'm going to allow it whatever it wants. So I would be careful with these agents. Again, for now, it's interesting. Let's see where that goes. You can see now it's just doing some work. I hope it's visible here. If I click here, it should zoom in to this area. So it is actually on my YouTube, and it's looking through my YouTube. It's trying to search for things related to AI and making its own conclusion. If it does things right, it actually should go to some of the videos and start reading comments. That will be really interesting to see. And it has to do the same with X. So in parallel, let's go and run it on agent mode. And here, before I go, you can see it's already on X, and it's viewing my account there and seeing what it can gather. So let's go to ChatGPT and let's run the same prompt with agent mode. So let's see here if I have to reprompt it. I don't think so. I think once you've selected agent mode, it will do what it's designed to do. So it's asking me some questions. Before I start, could you share what specific X and YouTube channels you want me to analyze for trending AI discussions? Is there a preferred outcome like topic? Okay, so it's just clarifying. So I'm telling it, I want you to do it as if I am browsing and trying to figure out what is trending for next week's video. And here you can give it, basically allow it to give you notifications. I'm going to do that. So I get a notification when it's done, and let's hit go and see how it looks on ChatGPT side. So it's thinking, and then it started doing a search. I'm just interested to see when it will actually start the virtual machine and start logging into my account. So I'm gonna spend a little while here until we see something that gives us a feeling of how this works. So I can see it's browsing the internet still. It didn't go to my account, so I didn't get any kind of prompt login or give it access to any of my accounts. Let's quickly jump into Comet, see what's happening on that side. Okay, so Comet is done. And if we go to the steps now, you can see it went to YouTube, it went into X, it was scrolling, capturing some information. It did the same when it comes to X. And here you can look at the micro steps. I can see the X homepage with AI related content already showing. Now I'll scroll down for more. Okay, let me check a dedicated artificial intelligence tab to capture AI specific discussions. So that's one of the communities on X. I can see the artificial intelligence tab is loading. Okay, so it went there. Going through all of the steps. Now let me check YouTube creators tab. Okay, for some reason it went there, which has nothing to do with it, with AI at least. Let me wait for YouTube. Okay. Task succeeded, capture trending AI topics. Okay, so let me look up when it comes to YouTube, because I don't think it did it as deeply as I wanted. It's interesting. It took like the superficial part of these platforms, did some scrolling, and that's it. Even for YouTube, at least from the description it has in these subtasks, it superficially did it. It didn't actually click on a video read the comments. This is the future that I would want. And this is the stage where I would say this is really agentic approach. It's great. This is amazing. I've used it for other things. Probably for the LinkedIn might do better. We'll have to wait and see. But it is not as deep or as comprehensive as you would expect. This one is done. Let's look at the outcome. I mean, at the end of the day, we care about outcomes. If we look at the assistant, so it gave 3 topics: AI-powered video generation and short-form AI content. This is the high level with some description, okay? So it's talking about Vine in AI form. So this is because Elon Musk made, I think, a tweet saying we're going to bring Vine back. The rise of open source and enterprise-grade AI models. Again, that's to a certain extent accurate. We've seen Kimi K2 and the new Quinn models, all of these small open source models that are making lots of sound out there with their performance. And lastly, it's talking about AI ethics, bias, and social impact. It's interesting that it didn't cover agent mode or Comet, because for me, from my perspective, if I do research, I would say these are also one of the top 3 trending topics out there now. Not bad. Let's go back to ChatGPT and see what's that about. So you can see it's still scrolling, still doing its work. Till now, I didn't get a request to actually sign in, log in. It should be using a virtual browser, and I don't know if it did it as a general. So it went in a generic manner, looked into YouTube, looked into X, but not logged into my account, not the view that I get, and did its own browsing and gave me the results. So we got the response now. You know, for the next test, I'm going to run it on Chrome just in case. Let's see how that works. But in both cases, it shouldn't be different. Here it's talking about Meta's super intelligence race. Okay, the talent wars. That's recent. That's a topic to talk about. AI, energy, hunger, and nuclear partnerships. Also, that's important. YouTube crackdown on unoriginal AI generated content. I think both of them got really good results as top 3 trending topics in AI to cover in a future video. For OpenAI, it didn't actually log into my account, so I'm gonna try for the next test on the browser. And it did just generic search, I would assume, on YouTube and X. But I think it got slightly better outcome. Just this is subjectively how I'm judging this. These are really recent and really hot topics now. On the flip side, Comet had the advantage of actually going to my pages. Again, this is powered by an actual browser, by Perplexity. It didn't really scroll, it didn't really click, it didn't go deep into the search. It gave me something superficial. This is why maybe the results that the Comet browser got for me, or the Comet assistant, are, in my opinion, less to what I expect in terms of quality out of such agent to do in a task for me like this. So let's go for the job search task now. I'm gonna run ChatGPT's task on Chrome this time and Comet, and we see how those compare. So this is my second test. I need you to log in my LinkedIn account. Examine my profile. Go to Jobs tab on LinkedIn. Find jobs that are fitting to my skills and offer a step up from what I currently do. Then on my Google Drive, create a Google Sheet and include there the recommended jobs to apply for, including the title, job URL, and description. Now I intentionally put description because if you know LinkedIn, when you open a job, usually the description is hidden and you need to click show more to view the whole thing. So if actually one of them or both of them succeed in doing this full job and we get that sheet, it will tell us a lot if the complete description is there or not. So this is the one on Comet. I'll hit run now and let's just give it a second before I move to agent mode on ChatGPT to just make sure it's actually trying to access my account. So it logged into my account. I can see that on the screen. So I'll leave it to do its work and I'll go to Chrome now, where I'm gonna run this on agent mode on ChatGPT on the browser, just to see if it actually logs into my accounts or ask for access to log into my account. So let's hit go and see how it works on Chrome as a browser. Okay, so I didn't see this before. For a second, it told me it's preparing the desktop. Okay, so this is different. I think it decided the last time we tested it on the application that it doesn't need to actually log into my account. Maybe I should have been more specific. But now It's trying to navigate there. So let's see. You can see the screen clearly. It's opening in a virtual computer. Okay, so here I need to either click login or click take over and do it on the virtual machine screen. So let's hit just login from here. So again, we get this warning. It's really important for you to read that. You have to be careful. Now, I assume there's a way for me to undo that later on. I'm going to do it just to show you how it works, but I assume later on I can actually revoke those accesses from the ChatGPT's browser. So I hit understand. Okay, so it's actually getting me into its virtual browser for me to go and do it myself. So I hope I can undo this later on. So you can see this is the ChatGPT browser. I'm already logged into my Google Drive and my LinkedIn, and it should be able to actually start doing the task that I asked it to do now. So I'll just hit finished controlling and let's see how it progresses. Okay, so you can see now it's already in LinkedIn. It's going into my profile. We're going to spend more time on agent mode because this is next level, honestly. Comet is nice. Perplexity's Comet is nice. I think nothing compares to OpenAI agent mode. Nothing I've seen before. So it's going through my account. I'm currently viewing the experience section. It picked up the company. I'm just interested if it will try to view more. It went to jobs. So it didn't actually click on the specific areas of experience that I have to read more, but it got the summary of it. So now it's searching for jobs. Okay, so it put for Chief Procurement Officer. If ChatGPT thinks I'm a Chief Procurement Officer, that's my next step. Well, here you have it. AI said it, not me. It's looking at different positions. Honestly, this is next level. I've never seen something like it before. To the level of accuracy, it's way beyond than anything I've seen before. So the first test didn't give the agent mode justice. This is something else. When you see it working, it is something else. Actually, I don't know if we missed it. I think it clicked on view more when it comes to the job. It accessed one of the jobs here. So it's a Chief Supply Chain Officer and it clicked view more, I think. So it's going for the KFC job now, Regional Supply Chain Operation Director. So it will scroll, I assume. So potentially, if I ask it to send messages to recruiters, yeah, it's clicking see more. It's clicking see more. If potentially I ask it to actually contact recruiters, that's something else. That's something else. It can do it for me, prepare a message, knowing my profile, and send them messages for me without me even thinking about it. This is something I would want to do without actually doing it. So now agent can do it for me. Honestly, it's super crazy. And imagine, this is the first version of it. This is the beta, you can call it the version of it. Imagine in a year what this will look like. So one of the jobs, I'm just watching, I will not cover all of them. One of the jobs, it struggled to click see more. So some of it works, some of it doesn't work for some reason. Maybe the mouse, the cursor is not that accurate. It's still going. It is still going. Okay, so it's done with LinkedIn. And now you can see it opened a Google Sheet on my Google Drive account and it will start populating the information. Now it did click everything that it needs to click, even the view more or show more for job descriptions. Now let's see if it actually has the memory. I don't know what's happening behind or below the hood for this system, but let's see if when it views a page, it picks up really everything and it can simply in a copy-paste fashion include all of the text from that description. So let's see what it does. I will view the sheet for you to see it. I'm going to open it actually directly from my browser and not this browser, just for us to view it more clearly. The interesting thing when you look at the cursor, it's actually telling you the task or the logic or the reasoning for doing a certain task. So it's clicking file now, for example, and it's renaming. Yeah, it's hitting rename. So it's giving the sheet a new name. That's interesting. So it's trying to actually do a copy paste. It struggled with it. So it's figuring out a way to do it. So it actually has it somewhere and it's copying and pasting to a certain extent. And if you used Google Sheets or Google Documents, you know this pop-up that you keep getting. Now it's canceling it. And okay, it should try a different way to copy paste into the sheet. That's interesting to see in real time. Again, the system is telling it to copy paste. You need to do Command C, Command X to cut, and Command V to paste. And okay, so it was able to get it through. I don't know if it's using its virtual keyboard to do the copy paste. Every time it is getting the pop-up, so it will cancel it and go back to the field. So this might be unnecessary steps. You'd expect a smarter approach to this. Maybe install that feature on Google Sheets or the widget that they're offering here, or the keyboard shortcut. I don't know, as a virtual browser that works the same way. Maybe it knows it doesn't, so it's just canceling. Let's see how that goes. It's actually doing it like a human would. When it views a page, it's not like saving that information, it seems. If you see now, it's trying to get the link by clicking the share button. I will not show you the whole thing because it's taking time. I want just to get you to see the important parts that I think are worthwhile seeing. So for example, it's struggling now with changing the name of the sheet. It's just going back and forth around that. Okay, so I prompted it before that I need a title, a URL, and a description. When it started, it had the URL and the description, but missed the title. It went back, and by itself, I didn't touch it since it started running, and it added the title column. So that's really interesting. And now you can see it started pasting in the details. So I think it pasted the description in the place of the URL. Let's see if it fixes that. Yeah, it's saying I need to clear the description cell. It knows it put it in the wrong place. It will try to put it in the right place now. And it's done. Let me try to find the Google Sheet on my Google Drive and open it, and we can see the result for ourselves. So here is the Google Sheet. So this was created by agent mode by ChatGPT. And if you open the description, actually didn't take the full description. It just took the short part of it. I don't think it got the whole thing, or it actually did the summary. Actually, it summarized the description. Okay, so I just realized that my recording software cut me off midway in doing the video. So we were examining the sheet that was created by agent mode by OpenAI. One more thing I wanted to examine before I make my judgment is, yes, we got the descriptions as a summary, which is good. We got also the titles right, but what about the links? I want to make sure that the links it gave me are correct and proper links. So let's start with the first one. So it gave me a wrong URL. This is for a media specialist. So 1 of 5 is a wrong link. Let's go for the second one. This is for the regional supply chain director. And this is the regional supply chain operation director with KFC. So that got it right here. Let's go for the third one. Director of procurement and supply chain excellence. I think it got this one as well right. Yep. And then vice president engineering, material management and supplier support. Let's check this one, and it got it. So this is a job with Emirates. And the last one, senior vice president or director for ports and logistics portfolio management. Let's check this out, and it got the page wrong. So it only got 3 out of 5 correct. Now the description seems to be the correct one, and the title also seems to be the right one, because I've seen this, the chief supply chain officer, and if I'm not wrong, also I've seen this one as well. So for the most part, it got the job done. Now let's go to Comet and see where that went. Okay, so here as an assistant, let's look at the results. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 jobs identified. One of them I can tell is the same. So they picked up on the same job. I think, yeah, one of them at least. Okay, and then to create your Google Sheet, open. Okay, it's giving me steps. So that's not a good indicator. That means it could have failed in doing so. So let's see the steps that it took. So it looked into my, now the outcome is good. I mean, these are probably jobs I would consider into my criteria. Let's see if it completed the job in the same way that agent mode did. So here it did the scan. Also, it's looking at the job tab. So you can see here, this is the part where it was looking at my profile. Here is the part where it actually looked into the jobs tab. Now, after that, in the original video, when I recorded it, I wanted to show you live. It's not a big of a deal, but it didn't do any further steps. So it just gave the outcome. So here I asked it, can you add the details into a Google Sheet as I asked? So as I asked in the original prompt, it told me it cannot do that because it doesn't have access. It was open, so that's a downside of this. The Google Drive was open in a different tab, so I told it, Google Drive is open in a different tab already. Please proceed. And then it went and you can now, told me you can now find and use the sheet in your Google Drive. So basically it's telling me it did the job fully on Google Drive now. Now let me go back to Chrome and show you that sheet that I got from Comet, and this is what I got. So it pasted basically one job title and that's it. It stopped. Okay, final impressions. Again, this is my opinion. This is subjective. Both are great starts for a technology that we're just getting to understand. Both still have clearly strong element with the level of technology that we have today when it comes to research. Now, when it comes to actually computer use or browser use, I think each has its weaknesses, but I would give the edge for OpenAI. It definitely performed much better, even if it got 40% of the links wrong, but all the titles were correct. All the description summaries were reflective. So for the most part, I would give agent mode, at least based on the second test, an 8 out of 10. Again, I'm comparing it to the level of technology that we have today. When it comes to Comet, it's interesting as an idea. It's intriguing. I don't know if OpenAI will follow pace and create their own browser. Again, this is a starting point for both. So Comet could be one of the biggest things in the future, but it didn't do as I expected. And when we were told that they're coming up with a browser, you would have expected more accurate browsing experience when you deploy the Perplexity agent. Nevertheless, it is something I might use from time to time, probably not as frequently as you'd expect for such technology. I think it's clear this technology is not there yet. It's in its infancy phase. It's just getting started. It might be something amazing next year. And here, I might not be as creative as others out there. If you have access to either, go ahead, test it, play with it. Be very careful when you do that, especially if you give it access. Every time I'm using agent mode, at the end of the session, I am asking the agent or taking control and logging out from whatever service I log into. So be cautious there. You've seen the warning by OpenAI. And if you experimented with it, write me a comment in the comment section. What did you exactly do? And if you like the video, do not forget to hit that like button. If you really like it, share it with friends and other people who might benefit from it. And do not forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. Give me the mic.